Alright guys, welcome back for another video. So this video is going to be really insightful. Last week was really crazy and we're going to also have another crazy week as well. This week we have inflation week. In this video, I'll be talking about the key level I'm watching on SPY and also talk about the price action from last week. And from that, talking about the game plan I'm planning to actually follow for this week ahead. So before actually going to the price action itself, we need to go over the calendar. We need to know exactly what's going on. So first, let's do that. So if we look at the US Canada here, we'll see that we have a busy week ahead. All right, so we're going to actually start Monday with a bunch of Fed speakers. Definitely, they can actually have different comments that can actually affect the market. We're going to have a bunch of Fed speakers making comments regarding the market, so definitely be aware of that. They might say something that can actually move the market. And on Tuesday, what do we have? On Tuesday, we have more data. All right, so we have more data. So I'm just gonna go over the stuff I'll be personally watching. I'm really interested in the U.S. retail data. Definitely need to know that. Also, the retail sell minus auto, need to actually know that as well. Those are the two main things in general that I'll probably pay attention to. Also, the employment cost index as well. The ECI definitely worth watching. Well, that's pretty much what I like to watch. But let's talk about the main data that's really important for this week, right? So we're going to start on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, we have U.S. employment report and the U.S. employment rate. So we're going to have employment report and unemployment rate data that'll probably definitely move the market and show the health of the job market in general. But do we still have a strong labor market or it is still weak? Because this right here can actually give us a good idea about what the Fed will do for the next upcoming interest rate decision. All right. And we also have the monthly US federal budget as well. But the main data that will definitely move the market is going to be on Friday, right? So we have CPI data. So again, this week is inflation week. So we're going to have CPI data. So if you look at the previous read, pretty much like we're expecting pretty much the same data, nothing crazy. However, the cost CPI, all right, let's actually check that really quick, make sure. So this is the previous read. So if you look at the core CPI over here, we're pretty much expecting a lower read, right, compared to the previous read right here. However, the core CPI itself for the month is set to actually tick higher, which is really interesting. But the CPI over here go lower higher, that's really match this as well. So really interested to see how the market will actually move, but we need to see the data, how far away it is from the expectation from the analysts, and based on that, we're going to have different market reaction. So we'll see. So actually, let's go over to the market. Let's go to the cool stuff and talk about the price action and SPY really quick and give you the different stuff I'll be watching. All right. So if you look at the market here, I pretty much have some key levels. But let's look at the weekly time frame, the candle on the weekly time frame. If you look at the big view, you will see we pretty much at the high of the mountain, right? So pretty much at the highest level of the price action, and we pretty much kind of stuck over there. So for the past couple of weeks, we pretty much have a nice range right here, and we having a hard time to actually decide where we're gonna go. All right, so we already kind of overextended, so we can easily have a pullback with the market, but so far the buyers kind of pretty strong to actually, you can actually have a pullback easily before actually going higher. But so far the market pretty strong, they are resilient to actually hold that price to the upside. So there's a lot of buying pressure still happening. And it's really crazy when, yes, last week we pretty much have the market going lower and everybody talking about market crash. I was like, what are you guys talking about? We still at a high level of the market, and people are saying the market is crashing. The market is not crashing. It's just down 1 or 2% for the week. It doesn't mean it's crashing. We're still here, and so it's really funny to actually see all those go on social media saying the market is crashing. So guys, don't let yourself being like emotionally manipulated. Just look at the chart and see, okay, where are we right now? The market is not crashing for in the short term, not really as well. It's just like we're just going lower, but there's no crash happening yet. So if you look at it, even if you look at last week, we even started on the right side, moved down, but the week on SPY, the candlestick close green, which is really interesting. We actually go to the daily time frame to see exactly what actually happened. So if you look at the daily time frame, we actually started the day Monday right here. That was Monday. So that was pretty much the summary of the weekly candle that we saw. That was the first candle of the week, green candle, and after that we actually rejected and came back, actually bounced right here. That's the price action on SPY for last week on the daily time frame. Right. So let's talk about the key level I'm been watching. So if you look at it, I have three key main level. So the first key level that I have is the 696. The second one pretty much 676, and one at 686 as well. So the 696 is pretty much the key level that the market has to actually break to actually continue to go higher. If you can see, we already have three rejection already. So this is pretty much so far a good wall that the market has to actually overcome, the buyer has to overcome to go higher. All right, and the 676 for me is a key support level. All right, key support level that I'm definitely watching, but it's a support level inside that demand zone right here. So that demand zone is where I expect buyer to be present. So far, every time we actually come down here, we have a bounce, and here again we also have a bounce as well. But inside that zone, the key level I'm watching is 676. If we lose that, that's a red flag that we can go higher. We lost that here. We actually reclaim it really quick and go higher. Here, when we lost it, we get lower. Here, we also lost it, we also went lower. But every time we reclaim it, we can actually push higher. So about the 676, I'm still looking to actually buy the bounce, the dip right here. And the key level I want to be really important, which is not significant as those two levels, but it's really important, especially if you day trade and if you want to actually build your sentiment for a really short term. That's the key pivot level that I have here, and that's the 686. All right, so the 686, we pretty much trading inside our range. You can see we are pretty much inside the range right here, and the 686 is pretty much, I would call it like a mid level. Or so if we above it, it's going to be a mid support level, and if we below it, it's going to be a mid resistance level. So right now we're actually able to actually clear that on Friday and close above it. So I expect this level to actually act as support. So if we can come down here and retest it and actually establish that support for sure, I'm definitely going to actually use that level as a bounce. So if we go quickly on the 1 hour, all right, on the 1 hour, that's for my day traders right here. So that's a key level you definitely want to have to be watching. If you look at this level being a nice support so far, all right, couple of time holding, when we actually break it, you can actually expect some selling pressure. So for next week, or at the key support level, I'm definitely watching this. If it come down here to actually add a nice support to see if you hold. If you hold, then I'm going to actually try to catch to buy the bounce and try to go for that 696 level right here. But if we lose that level, if you lose the 686, then I'll probably look for short-term put to go all the way down here that demand zone, and specifically towards the 676 level. So those are the key level I'm definitely watching. And if you can actually stay above that 686, then I'll probably focus to actually trade the upside with the temptation to actually make a new all-time high in the market, and that will be above, I think, trying to hit about maybe 698 and trying to actually hit the key strike level at 700. I think that's the target the market want to actually hit for an historical moment. So we'll see how it actually played out. But just to see where we open on Monday, we'll see where the market open on Monday. But right away, if you can stay above 686, that's nice. And the key level to actually clear as well. You can see clear the 693. After we clear the 693, it's only the 3 point away, right, to actually hit the 696. That's something I'm definitely watching. And when we get here, we need to see, okay, if seller are getting aggressive, if they're getting aggressive, we can actually put the rejection. If not, the buyer can actually clear it, and I'm definitely gonna be looking for a retest for entry. That would be the most safest entry. If we clear that level, probably wait for a retest and see if you can actually hold that 686, then that would be good for a nice call position to go to the upside. On the other side, right, we can either, if you want to actually trade on Monday, the key level up definitely be watching. It's going to be below 688, below that, or definitely will be watching that level right here, that right here, which is about the 689. That's pretty much, it's gonna be really early. It's not, I wouldn't call it like a strong level, but if you want to actually take a shot right here, that would be where you can actually take a short for the short term. If you actually lose that and go back to that near that key pivot level, and near that level, right, you either holding your put to see if you can actually go lower depending on the strength of that move, or most likely I would recommend to actually take profit on that level. Or if you're not in that move, wait to see if you have a bounce and try to catch the bounce to go to the upside. So the key pivot level should actually add the bounce. If you fail, then most likely we're going to actually have a strong selling pressure. Right here, you see it's supposed to actually add at the bounce. If you actually fail and we lose it, we can actually have a strong selling pressure. So that's why I'm expecting right here. If the bounce fell, if you actually try to come and the bounce fell and we lose it, then we can actually go really aggressive to the downside. And that's what I want to catch. I want to catch the move that happened right after we lose a key level. And because when we do that, we're gonna have a nice momentum cash. We can actually catch that, and nice momentum with a short-term contract. That means we can actually print a lot of money in a sense. That's something I'm definitely watching for sure. All right, and yeah, that's pretty much my key level on the on SPY right here. I forgot to talk about the some of the key earnings. Well, let's go over the earnings calendar really quick before I actually end up this video. So let's actually do that. So go back here and talk about let's look at what kind of earnings we have next week. So if you look at here, we also have a calendar packed with earnings. All right, so I'm going to talk about the key company I'll be watching. All right, so definitely I'm going to be watching CVS. I don't try that name as much. Definitely be watching Spotify, Datadog, Lyft. We have Robinhood. Start. I'm actually play Robinhood. We'll see how we actually play it out. Definitely Shopify. I'm definitely tempted to actually get some Shopify to the upside. I think the stock can actually bounce really heavily. Shopify definitely up as well. And let's see what we have. We have Coinbase and Pinterest. Rivian, I don't know if I'm gonna be watching it, but definitely worth watching for sure. DriveKings, definitely betting platform. Well, we have McDonald's. I don't trade that name, but definitely worth watching. And definitely CloudNet, watch as well. So those are probably the key. But if I'm actually said about the top five, we have Robinhood, Shopify, Coinbase. That's three. Which one? Spotify, right? That's four, and Net. That would be five. That would be my top five watch I'll be watching for earnings, definitely. But let me know in the comment which one you're pretty much watching, and also what direction you're planning to actually take. All right. But thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. I have so many free games that will be coming to this channel. If you want to learn more inside trading strategies, everything's coming in 2026 for you guys. Thanks for watching. I will catch you guys later.